Hey guys, we are back for another Mythic Legions review, but this is not an Advent of Decay review, it's not a Colosseum review, and it's not a Covenant of Shadow review. Today we're going back to 1.0, and we're going to take a look at Gideon Heavensbrand. We've got him here in the original standard Mythic Legions pack, and you can see him there in the window. We've got a bio for this guy on the side, and then we've got that original artwork on the back, as well as a story write-up. So let's pull him out and take a look. And here he is out of the packaging, our Gideon Heavensbrand figure, one of the more sort of central main type of characters in the overall Mythic Legion story. So this guy is the leader of the Order of Eathyron. So Eathyron's the big bird god, the figure from the overall bird line from Mythic Legion. So you've got him, and he leads that army. We've already taken a look at his sister, Gwendolyn Heavensbrand, in the Advent of Decay line. So we're going back to take a look at a figure that relates to a newer figure, which is pretty cool. We're going to take a look, of course, at articulation first and just see how this guy moves around real quick. So it's pretty standard stuff. We've got a Mythic Legions 1.0 figure, so it's exactly what you think it's going to be. If you've seen any of the 50-ish reviews I've done lately, you know, it's all pretty much the same. The head can swivel. He does have a neck piece that swivels, but the head itself is on a ball. So you've got a bobble side to side. He can look up a little bit, not a great deal, but a little bit. He can look down, and then, of course, full rotation. The wings on his helmet are articulated, so you can move them if you want. Arms go out. They rotate. We have got rotation at the elbow, single jointed hinge, rotation at the forearm gauntlet, rotation at the wrist, and a hinge. We have got a waist twist, so he's got that single piece buck for the chest. Back, forward, side to side, rotation. Legs go out, legs kick forward, they kick back. We've got thigh cut up there. Hinge and rotation at the knee, and then we've got rotation, rocker, and hinges down at the ankles. So it's standard stuff. This is, you know, the basic body build articulation scheme for the line. Now, as far as the overall design here, this guy is, for the most part, just kind of a standard knight type of figure that doesn't have a full set of armor, at least exposed. He's got the tunic type of chest piece that you can obviously see there. We've got him done up in a gold and silver color scheme, kind of keeping with the theme of the Order of Eathyron, so it all very ties in to who he is in the storyline and the mythology there. So we've got, you know, the standard knights type of shin guards that go into the legs. We've got the exposed chainmail up there, as is the norm. We've got the kind of tunic tabard piece that hangs down. It's dirtied up down at the bottom, so there's a bit of a grayish brown overspray down there to make it look like it's kind of worn and nasty. And that leads up into his tunic piece. Instead of a full chest of armor, he's got the tunic that sits over top of it. So it's to be assumed that he's got his armor on underneath there, I would imagine, based on the neckline there. And it's done up with a lot of paint on there as well. A lot of shading, a lot of wash. So it very much is not clean. He looks like he's come from the thick of battle. You know, this is a suit of armor that he uses. It's not just for decoration, so it's got a lot of nastiness on there. And I like that. It makes it look like it's not just a clean shirt that he happens to be wearing. He has been in battle. We do have the standard plated style armor on the arms that run down from the shoulder. More of that silver detail in the inlay design, and then that leads into some of the standard knights gauntlets and hand pieces there with more of that same silver inlay. So he does have a pretty sweet design. I mean, it's not anything groundbreaking, especially at this point in Mythic Legions, but he very much does stand out. He is, you know, kind of a dirtied up, shining, holy knight. He's not so holy as, say, Sir Ignatius looks, but he definitely looks like he is, you know, a little bit ostentatious, very much a knight with a grand purpose about him. Now, as far as the head sculpt goes, there's a lot of stuff going on up here. I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's got a full knight's helmet on. He's got the wings. He's got the big ornament up there. We do have an exposed face. So this is the head sculpt that I've talked about previously in the Lord Viteris review. They repurposed this head sculpt for that figure in the upcoming Soul Spiller wave. So it's cool to finally see this, you know, in person, since I now have this figure to reference. We do have a full painted face in there, and you can pop this mask off to give you a better look at what the face looks like. So he's just kind of a standard guy. He's got a bit of a stern expression on his face, nice bushy mustache, so he looks like he's kind of a no-nonsense kind of knight. The face is painted up really fantastically, great sculpt on it. You know, it's sunken into that helmet, so he's ready to throw down if he has to. We've got more of that gold and silver paint that leads up to the silver bird ornament on his head, again keeping with the Order of Eathyron theme. And of course, as we talked about, we've got the big wings that stick out the side of the head. They are movable, so you can rotate them if you want. You can pop them out and swap them for a different ornamentation for a helmet, so the horns or, you know, whatever you want really. But I think these look fantastic. That black to brown to tan to kind of cream color scheme is pretty exceptional. I mean, they've done it on both sides, on the inside and the outside, so that is pretty fantastic. Beyond that, you do have a couple options with this head though, because you can display him fully, you know, with the face open. You can put the face mask back on this peg. There's 2 holes in this guy on the inside. So one will allow it to be where the face mask is up, and then the other will allow you to pop it down. So now he's got a fully covered and helmeted head that's ready for battle, which I really like the idea of having this option. It's something different. It gives you a different display option, and it also does look pretty cool. For accessories, this guy has a decent spread. Being an older figure, he does lean towards more of the basic side when it comes to weaponry, but he does offer different ways to display the figure itself. So we had that original head with the face mask, the ornate design, the wings, all of that. You have a swappable head that has a more, you know, classical bucket-style knight's helmet. So it's done up in the same gold and silver color scheme. You pop that eagle off the other head and you can put it on this one. Otherwise, he does have a hole on the top of it. So you've got that ornamentation on there as well. And then we do, of course, have pauldrons for this guy. So he's got some of the standard knight-style pauldrons done up again in the gold and silver color scheme. Nice plate armor look. It beefs them up as usual. It makes them look a little more imposing, a little more intimidating. So that's cool. We do have the strap as usual, and then we have a few weapons and we have a shield. So we've got, to start with, we have got this little dagger. It's a silver blade with a kind of dirtied and patinaed hilt with a red handle, and the same goes for the sword. So silver blade, same kind of handle, same kind of hilt, all that stuff. So these are some of the standard weapons in the line. So just kind of basic stuff for a, you know, more standard traditional style of knight character. And then we do have a shield which has one of the emblems for the Order of Eathyron. It's not exactly the same thing that we see on some of the other figures. It's not the same that GIDEON Heavensbrand has. It's not the same thing that Sir Ignatius has on his shield either. But we do have this guy. It's one of the older style shields, so it has a clip that goes on the wrist rather than a handle, which I tend to prefer sometimes, actually. So this one's pretty cool. Good tampo design on that. I like it. I like that emblem. It's very old world type of design there, which I think works well with this particular type of character. So at the end of the day, this figure offers a lot of options as far as how you can display him, what you can do with him. I mean, it's all the standard Horsemen paint quality, sculpt quality, just everything about it is fantastic. I do really like this particular figure. He is, as I've said a couple times at this point, an older figure from the original Mythic Legions line, so he is not readily available. He's certainly not readily available for a decent price either, so you got to get him on the aftermarket, and the price reflects his rarity slash desirability in some ways, because he's not cheap, but he's not crazy either. He is still a very cool figure. He is definitely central to the Mythic Legions storyline, so he's kind of a big name. If you want to beef up your Order of Eathyron, he is really a must-have, and he pairs up really, really nicely with his newly released sister. So that's going to do it for this look at the Mythic Legions Gideon Heavensbrand figure. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.